Down after a while, but for now I'm going to stand just so you can see me in the back. My name is David Pollock. I'm Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Moore Park, and I'm the candidate here that declared first. And I've been in this race since last August. I'm 100% committed to this, and I want to thank all the people that are, well, first of all, thank the Good Club for organizing this, and for all my good friends and supporters that are in the audience here tonight. I'm the candidate that brings a good mix of both business background and public service. I have an MBA from UCLA and worked for the Boeing Company for some 18 years. I also got involved with public service when my children started going to school, got to know a thing or two about school reform, and I'm very proud of what we've accomplished in Moore Park, which now has a national reputation as an academic powerhouse. I also, because partly of that work, I became president of the California School Boards Association, where it was my pleasure and honor to represent 1,000 school boards and over 6 million school children from across the state of California, which opened doors in Washington, D.C., where I had the opportunity to push back on a lot of the more onerous provisions of No Child Left Behind and a number of other issues that were affecting California schools and our school children. I'm running on a progressive agenda, and I'm talking primarily about three things. First of all is economic justice. I think we're all horrified at the economic meltdown that we've seen and the incredible debt that we've accrued bailing out Wall Street to solve the problem. And right now there are efforts to try and deal with it with regulations, but I'm firmly of the belief that it has to be much more dramatic than that, and I'm calling for the breakup of the 6 largest banks in this country. I'm also calling for universal health care, and this is not just because it's a progressive agenda item, it's something that I learned while being on the foundation board for Simi Valley Hospital. And I'll talk more about this later, but I'm in the process of trying to raise $3 million to expand their emergency room there because it's overrun. And it's an indication of how broken our medical system is. It is literally bankrupting us, and it needs to change. And finally, I see tremendous latent potential in Ventura County, running from the border along the 101 all the way into Oxnard. We have some of the world's best technology talent right in Ventura County, and we should be investing in research and development for green energy and clean energy. And we're not doing it. We're seeing a disinvestment in research and development. So as your representative in Congress, I will help restore investment in technology and help make Ventura County the place for green technology jobs. And with that, I'm done.
Bill, what do you have on there?
Take a chance is all I can say. Your next guest. Did you want the microphone? No. I think everybody's better off not using the microphone, but it's up to you.
That's not true. You're so nice.
I apologize for you in the back, but this is a little more than we usually deal with. Please be polite. Thank you. We're trying our best.
Well, let me try this. Does this work for you? In the back? No? Yeah, it works fine. Go ahead.
Walk forward.
How about in the back? Does this work for you?
Yeah,
just walk in the middle. In the back, how many people does this work for in the back? Can you hold my time now while you're... It works for you? Okay, it's certainly going to be, I think, easier for us.
Plenty of room down the aisle.
We're already mic'd.
Closer.
Yeah, we're already mic'd.
It's just for the video.
No, just for the video. Okay, great. All right, well, let me start on that happy note, right? I'm Steve Bennett, and it's a pleasure to be here at the Good Club. I'm really proud of the fact that I've been a member of the Good Club for over 10 years. So it's nice to be here for this event. For those of you that don't know me, I was a teacher at Nordhoff High School for 25 years before I was elected to the Ventura County Board of Supervisors. I ran for office at the Board of Supervisors for the same reason I'm running for United States Congress. I think far too often elected officials don't reflect the core values of the citizens that elected them. They instead reflect the interest of the big money that got them elected. And as a result of that, oftentimes we have disconnects out there, and I'll talk about that a little bit. The biggest disconnect I think we see in the country today, and my big motivator for running for Congress, is that for the last 30 years, policies have been adopted that have increasingly squeezed the middle class. And it's no coincidence that now, after 30 years of those policies, we have growing income inequality, and we have much more strain on working class families and the middle class. Middle class, working class families need more and better job options, need better education for their young people, and they need access long-term for the rest of their lives. They need confidence that they'll have access to affordable, quality health care. I believe you can trust me to work hard to deliver those things because of my track record here in Ventura County so far. I helped gather 75,000 signatures to put SOAR on the ballot because I believed it was a core value of us that we did not want to sprawl like the San Fernando Valley. I wrote the toughest campaign contribution limit law in the state of California because I believe we don't want people buying politicians in Ventura County. I took on a mess, a government mess, with the county's budget in 2001 when I came in. They had zero reserves. They had public safety budgets growing by double digits while they were squeezing all of the other budgets, social service budget programs. People said you couldn't take on the sheriff and the district attorney. I did that, and as a result, I only have 30 seconds left, I hope. But I did that, and as a result, we were able to, just in the last few months, increase Child Protective Service workers by 8, and we were able to solve budget problems without destroying our social programs. It is really important for me, for you to know, that if I am fortunate enough to get elected to Washington, I firmly believe the Republican leadership is trying to kill Medicare as we know it today. And I will do everything I can to hold Medicare and Social Security together and fully fund them, because it is the foundation for the middle class to be able to move forward and not be squeezed even further. Thank you.
Chief Justice next. If we go around to the right and circle back, yeah, we'll get the back clean up. No. We're going to the right.
Hello, I'm Jess Herrera. 17 years ago, you gave me a public trust. You elected me to be a harbor commissioner, and I have honored that public trust. When I first got to the Port of Hueneme, we had tin sheds and empty docks. Now we have state-of-the-art facilities, and we have our docks are full, and we need more space. We have worked with world-class customers to bring prosperity to the Port of Hueneme, and we have done so. We have doubled the size of our port. We have made a joint use agreement with the United States Navy that not only creates jobs, but brings a new face to Wharf 3, which is the Navy dock, so that they can use that in time of military necessity. I've worked very hard to create jobs in our community, and I will continue to do so. They say the past is prologue, and I think that's true. I have consistently worked hard for working class families because I come from one. You trusted me 17 years ago, and you elected me to a harbor commissioner post. And I have been faithful to that responsibility, and we continue to be faithful to that. I'm looking forward to opening doors that have, to this point, been closed to us. As a harbor commissioner, I go to Washington and I knock on doors. Very often, you can't get past a certain level, and we have lost opportunities here. I'm going to take a regional approach, and I'm already working on that, to bring jobs into Ventura County through the port and also through manufacturing. I'm working with people that are going to take care of veterans issues. We have to take care of our veterans. I'm very close to the Navy base. They're decommissioning soldiers, CB battalions. We need a place to put them to work. We're going to try and get facilities that help disabled veterans. I'm going to continue to work on all these issues because these are all close to my heart. These have always been my passion, to create jobs for the people in the community. 37% of our hard-working community is Latino, and I certainly can be a voice for them, and I certainly look forward to being that voice for them. We need to come together. We need to come together as a community, as a district. We have a new frontier, a new opportunity that we can elect leadership that will merely be accountable to you, that will be here and working with you and for you. Believe me, I'm a good listener. If there is an issue, I will listen to you and I will work with you. That's one of my strengths. I got into this race late, and I'll tell you why. Because it's a huge responsibility. And I had to be sure, and I had to look inside of me and make sure that I was ready for that responsibility. So that's why I stepped forward. I think you need me here. You trusted me once. You were right once. 17 years ago, you can be right again. Thank you very much.
Hold applause, please. Thank you very much.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here. My name is David Cruz Thane. As you know, I'm running for Congress, and I want to take a moment and just thank Bill and Ruth and the Good Club for all your hard work in putting this on, and really appreciate it. I've been spending a lot of time here in Oxnard. This is turning into a kind of a second home for me, and it reminds me of a lot of my upbringing and where I came from. I'm just going to take a moment and tell you a little bit about myself. I'm kind of the new one here, so a lot of you don't know who I am. I don't hold elective office. I'm one of the few guys that have to get up every morning and try to figure out how to provide for his 4 kids and his wife and 4 kids every day. But my story is a story. It's the immigrant story. My parents immigrated this country from South America. They started working in the factories back east. My father then became a school teacher. He taught school for 33 years, ESL. And I know what it's like to be raised on the salary of a teacher. Not easy. And my father had to work 2 side jobs. He had to clean country club kitchens. And I used to go with him almost every morning, early in the morning, clean a couple kitchens, go home, go back, go to school. So my sister's a school teacher. And at the end of the day, school teaching and being a teacher is close to my heart. I then got involved I have 2 loves. I have the love of trying to make a difference in people's lives, and in that means politics and government, and athletics. Those are my 2 things that I've always kind of been drawn to and done. I worked for a period of time. I grew up in Salt Lake City, Utah. I did it for a period of time. I worked in Democratic politics there. I ran several state senate campaigns, which is not easy in Utah, which is one of the reddest of the red states. But we went into some of the most hostile territories in the United States and came out with victories after victories. I used to then go in and fix troubled campaigns for the Democratic Party, and I spent a period of time as the chief of staff to the minority leader in the state senate. And there is where I really learned when you're in the minority party and how to work with others. If you want to get something done, how to compromise and how to work with others. I also spent a period of time traveling around the world. I was a professional tennis player, and had that experience of being able to see other countries and see new places. Settled down in Southern California, started raising a family, started a small business, and I got to a point where I was so concerned about the direction of our country. I'm so heavily invested in the success of this country. Again, 4 small children. Things have to work for us. Things need to be right, and they have to work for us. And that's one big reason why I got into this race. Thank you.
Okay, now we pick the number. We know who is first. David Pollock's going to go first with the first question. After that, we follow the same sequence around just like we did before. 3 minutes for each response.